Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're going to put the bottom half of this gimbal-controlled model rocket together, and then we're going to finish designing the parachute system for it and get that printed. And hopefully we don't run into any issues while we're putting these parts together. I have all of these little servo screws right here. That's what this is designed to be put together with. So, let's get started. Let's move all this robot stuff out of the way, because that's for the next video. Okay, now we have a workspace. Here's our rocket body. It's our motor holder. The gimbal ring goes around the motor holder. Here's the gimbal mount. And here's two of the rings that are used to hold the body panels together. I gotta print one more of these. I still have to redesign this thing. I totally forgot about that. Oh, you know what? Right off the bat, I'm seeing a problem. These holes, the mounting holes, are too big. That's too big. I can't use that with a servo screw. It'll just slide right in and out. Yeah, that's not going to work at all. Too big. Okay, so right off the bat, I got to redesign one of these pieces. These holes are the same. They're too big. How did that happen? Weird. Alright, well, just is what it is. Also, another thing I have to redesign on this part, the servos sit on this side, but I got the mounting screws going in right there, you can see, for the body panel. And so I need to change the placement of the holes on the body panel and like scoot them over a little bit. That way these holes will be going in here. And also I need to make sure that the holes are not at the same height as the servo mounting holes. See that right there? That means those screws would be like touching each other, which obviously like that won't work. Wow. Really, we could just print all of this stuff in one print. Yeah, we can just print everything all at once. This was a fairly straightforward process. I already had the correct size holes on some of the pieces, so I was able to just copy a couple of the hole objects on here and move them where I needed to be, and then duplicate it enough times for all the parts I need. And of course I had to relocate the holes on the servo holder. And that's a big thing. Obviously it wouldn't have worked how it was before. So yeah, I've got it all laid out to where it can be printed all at once. Let's give this a shot, see if it'll work. No, dang, that's a long time. Okay, it's looking good. Well, while that's out there printing in the shed, we can go ahead and get started on designing this parachute system. So the general idea I have for the parachute system so far is to have this servo with a servo arm sticking off of it like that, clamping onto this little support thing on this piston right here. And this piston will be inside of the upper tube of the rocket. Oops. What are we doing? Okay, there we go. And it will be spring loaded. There will be a spring on this side and a spring on this side pushing against it, pushing up, and the servo, when the servo arm moves away, those springs will be able to push the piston up, and that will push the top of the rocket off, and that will move the parachute out as well. I guess let's design the mounting supports for the servo. As you can see, we'll have to do a little bit of editing to these supports They're sticking out some, but that'll be easy enough. Maybe I need to raise that up a bit, actually, inside of it, so it's closer to the top and it's easier to screw the servo into it, because like that's like really deep down in there, and I don't think the parachute's going to have to be that big. So let's ungroup that real quick and raise this up. Okay, so there we are at the very top. Let's just go down to like right there. Wait, no, I gotta have room for the piston itself. But the piston can be thinner. It doesn't have to be that thick. Yeah, that looks good. Nice thin piston. I think we have our parachute system, to be honest. I'll have to test it, but this looks pretty good to me. The servo will screw in to the skinny ones, and then the springs will be loaded to the thicker ones right there. I need to do a little circle thing where the spring will mount to hold it in place. That's what I need to do. So the springs that I am getting are 8 millimeters wide, so we're going to do 7. And then awesome. Yeah, that looks really good, to be honest. I'm really happy with that. I think it should work exactly like I'm thinking. So this bar going across in the nose cone is going to be what the string for the parachute is attached to. And it'll also help the piston have something to push against. Oh, that reminds me, I need to have something that the parachute is tied to here. Alright, so what we're going to do is have a hole in the piston for the parachute string to go through. And then it'll just attach down here somewhere. I'm actually going to make a little wall underneath so the arm can't get caught in the string. Yeah, looks good. That way the string can't get tangled up in the arm or anything, you know, the string will stay over here. And then I am going to just take another one of these arms that I have on the servo mount. I'm just going to take one of those and lower it, and that'll be the parachute mount. That and turn it into one piece. Yeah, it looks good. Now select the body as well and turn it all into one piece. Yeah, good. All right, that'll work. That'll work. It looks good to me. I think that's good enough to at least print and test. So the servo holds the piston down with the servo arm going over that bar going across in there. Let me zoom in. All right. Servo arm moves. The piston is spring loaded, a spring on each side. When the arm moves out of the way, the piston pushes up, which pushes the nose cone off, and the parachute is connected to the nose cone at that bar right here with a string, and That string pulls the parachute out from inside of here and lets it deploy. And this servo will get activated basically on a timer. When the accelerometer feels that it is begun the launch, then it'll start the timer. And yeah, easy peasy. Well, I guess we'll actually be putting this thing together on the next rocket video. We'll still have to print and test this parachute design, but it looks promising to me. I think it's going to work. Thanks for watching. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe if you haven't. And please, 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 please join the Patreon. It helps us a lot.